Greetings and salutations, ladies and gents. You're tuned in to the False Grace Podcast. I'm your host, AK Baby Doo, the Lightbringer.
And I am the Fur Man.
Oh, drink water, drink water, drink water, bitch. 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 Brush your teeth every day. Oh, don't play too many games.
It's a very powerful day.
Only 3 hours a day. Oh, respect your
I'm feeling very spiritual.
I'm feeling hydrated.
Always say please,
Yeah.
thank you.
I'm
Oh,
hydrated
you say
as well.
words like fucking
Man,
ships
I'm
out
so
of your
hydrated,
house,
I'm
spank you.
sweating.
Oh, don't say nigga, it's bad. Respect and love all races.
This is day 42. Trying to be more popular than ass and titties. Yes. It's been a long and perilous journey.
It's hard out
But-
there for a pimp.
We will get there. Where there's a will, there's a way.
And my God, we are the new pioneers.
Yes.
We will find a way.
If you have faith, you can say to the ass and tit, I will be more popular than you. And it will be true.
For there is more faith in our podcast than in a mustard seed.
Supposed to say BBL.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, that's where my faith is. I'm fighting my better nature to make this podcast happen.
Let's see. What's the male equivalent of a BBL?
A BBP,
What's that?
a big body penis.
Where
just-
do they take it from?
Okay, so I've actually heard of the procedure. What they do is they cut off 3 inches from your forearm,
Yeah.
and they just add it as foreskin, and
I
it's supposed to be
see.
like a hat situation.
Let's see.
Yeah, dude, it makes it longer, technically.
I gotcha. Have you ever considered?
I don't know, 3 inches. I'd probably go for 9. I mean, if you're gonna go for it, I mean, I don't really use my arms anyway.
Yeah. Who needs arms? Who needs them?
I want my shit to look like Snuffleupagus.
So what do we got lined up for tonight for our beautiful 3 viewers?
Well, let's see. Have you heard about Canada taking out the trash?
Yeah, Trudeau finally resigned.
I know, but that timing on it.
The timing's impeccable.
Oh my God! When all the tariffs and everything are about to hit the U.S.,
The worst timing of all. He goes, "Yep, it's time to call it a day."
It's like walking out of a hospital after the people come into the ER. It's like, okay, well, 78 person pile up. All right, guys, I worked a 8-hour shift. I'm gone.
Literally.
Oh,
What's crazy is, after saying he's going to resign, he's starting to tweet about all these things that he would have done or people should or shouldn't be doing, and I'm like, you had some time.
like
You had a little bit of time.
Do they even have terms on?
I don't know how
Can
it
you-
works.
I thought it was like emperors.
Well, I know an election was soon. Like they had an election coming up. He was expected to lose.
Yeah, but like I've never heard of a president quitting in the U.S.
Yeah, never.
We have death, or just not getting reelected.
Yeah.
Or term limits.
Yeah, that's it. Nobody's ever stepped down.
Yeah, no, there's never even President Nixon.
Nixon.
Actually, I think he got technically canned. He didn't even quit. He just got canned.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah,
but
it's good that Trudeau is gone.
oh yeah, take out the trash. But like again, when the tariffs are gonna hit and the loony's about to get loony,
Mm-hmm.
man, puts a poo poo in poutine. I'm not gonna lie.
Putinnomics.
Oh my God, he's Putin on the Ritz right
Yeah,
now.
Absolutely.
Like, but what's even funnier to me is just like when what was it, like 3 weeks ago? President Trump's like, "Hey, why don't you guys be a 51st state?"
Yeah.
That's when you quit.
Yeah, we're looking at Greenland. We're looking at Canada. We're looking at Mexico.
We're going to Iceland's a good one. Why are we going to Greenland and Mexico?
It's cheaper.
yeah.
Greenland's cheaper. So get this. Greenland encompasses 21% of the entire landmass of the United States. It's that big.
Okay, so we're talking like from New York basically to
It's like Texas and California. let's
oh
just say.
shit, my ass.
Put those together.
Ooh.
Maybe not that, but it's around that size.
Yeah, but
so
it's-
it's big.
Yeah, but we get free ice.
Yeah. Did you know the total population of Greenland doesn't even rival medium-sized towns. So outside of giving away any locations, on the other side of the ice wall, the population of Greenland is 20 times less than that of Memphis, Tennessee. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's mostly ice.
That's one city. And we're talking about land that's 21% the size of the United States.
Okay, so we're talking about ice Australia then.
We're talking about if you're born in Greenland, there's a chance you'll never see another human being again in your life.
Oh my god. Dating over there has got to be the best, worst thing to ever happen. Like, you get stuck in a town full of fuggos.
Well, over there, you probably don't suffer from options. You don't have to worry about options.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the internet is not a thing, so they can keep you there.
You got 2 girls around your age that you can pick growing up to date. There you go.
You got Glenders and Horslot, and they both come from good families. Could you imagine a Russian going over there just like, it's actually not that bad?
Trump flew there on Air Force One, or Trump's son flew there on Air Force One this week. I'm just imagining a plane landing there for the first time, and the locals being like,
"Big metal bird, fall from sky. We bring it pickled herring and hope for best."
Yeah.
God, I'm just imagining like the opposite of like what happened to Hawaii.
Yeah. So I might get these numbers wrong, but I was thinking about, because we're talking about buying Greenland.
And we're gonna just straight buy it.
Yeah, and so there's Mexico, and somebody was like, "Why don't we just buy Mexico too?" So I googled Mexico's GDP, and that's basically, like, if you think of a business, that's the output, gross domestic product output.
Yeah,
and that kind of gives you an idea of the economic power of a country. And so Mexico, I thought, would be fairly cheap, had a $1.7 trillion GDP. That's trillions.
Oh,
that ain't cheap.
Oh, that's like, what, 1 month for NASA to take off?
I googled Greenland's GDP. It was $9 billion.
So it's just a smiggle. Just a schmiggle. If we took 1/3 of what we dropped on Ukraine's war, we could buy Mexico. If we took 2/3, we could buy Mexico, then Greenland, and then we could use those to take Canada.
Yeah.
That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Now, at some point, I'm sure someone will grow wise to the fact we can just print this money and then buy these countries, and they'll go, "Hey, this isn't real money."
I mean, but then again, we'll also store all of our military bases over there.
Yeah.
The problem that I see with buying with Mexico is...
The funniest... Yeah.
The problem with buying with Mexico is, that thing where they fucking murder their politicians. Yeah.
So do you know, like, in America, there's a handful of towns across the nation that are known as, like, military towns.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these are towns where the families are all military. Everybody's military. You grow up.
They don't hire any of the military wives because they know in a second they're about to be yanked out. Yeah.
Exactly. When we talk about buying these other countries and integrating them, because we're saying we're going to Americanize them and integrate them. What that really means is they're about to become military bases. Like, that's what integrating Greenland is.
So we're going to send all of Wisconsin to Greenland. That's what you're saying.
All those military bases in Texas, well, they're moving south.
Man, well, I mean, that's just bigger Texas at that point.
Yeah.
I would love to go ahead and see some gang wars with Texas.
There's no reason Texas shouldn't just connect straight with Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we've already taken most of it. So, like, let's just go ahead and call it what it is. Like, all of Texas used to be Mexico.
Yeah.
And then we were like, you know what, we'll give you this much.
If you're in the chat, go ahead and leave us a comment, something to talk about, a question, etc. We want to just do a test, see if our chat's working.
Yeah, we're doing this live for you guys.
Every now and then we get a chat issue where it doesn't populate at all. We've had those before.
Oh, yeah. But like,
no cap.
Yeah, exactly. Not this time.
No capping.
But like,
skirt.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you hear what T-Money's gonna do when it comes to when he gets reelected?
What's he gonna do?
Release the JFK files.
Yeah.
What do you think's on that?
Dude, we already know. Okay, here's here's the question I want to ask. All right. I'm almost 30,000 years old.
Give or take.
And in my entire existence, I've never heard of, like, what is it? Conspiratorial information coming to light that wasn't a letdown. Like, have you ever had something come out, looked at it, and went, holy shit, this is crazy?
I don't know. When T-Money was in presidency, like 4.5 years ago, he said aliens were real.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's it wasn't
But where's the
great.
proof?
People saw blurs in the sky while they were going at supersonic speeds.
It seems like anytime something's talked about en masse for a long time and then it's finally revealed, it's always lackluster. The real bombshells have always come out of nowhere. Like, no one was talking about it. Nobody knew who this person was. Nobody knew what this thing was.
Kind of like,
Jeffrey Epstein. Like, before he killed himself,
nobody cared. Who cared.
Even knew who that was? I didn't.
I mean, I had an inkling, but then again, I did.
But my point is, like, if we had been talking about Epstein for 20 years, when he died, we'd probably find out he was like a gardener in Florida.
It's like, so. Wow, that's neat.
You see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah,
like,
but his chrysanthemums were very nice.
Yeah. So I'm not so sure about these files.
See, what
I'm excited, but I'm expecting a letdown.
Yeah, you're expecting. He got shot in the fucking face.
Yeah.
There was a gun.
There was a grassy knoll.
And they didn't like the president, so they capped him.
Yeah.
I mean, he was only there during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Who the fuck knows? I mean, whatever.
So I'm not expecting anything good.
Yeah. I mean, I understand because, like, the Hollow Earth thing that was over in China, I was so ready to see dinosaurs. I was so fucking ready for it. I was like, this is some Jurassic Park shit. Come on.
Yeah.
And it's like, nope, just some trees from the Preozoic era. It's like, oh, well, that's...
Of course.
Jurassic World can wait, I guess. Who doesn't want to read a pterodactyl?
In 2026, we're going to discover the second part of the world, and scientists are going to go, we don't know how we didn't find it sooner. It was right here. We just didn't look at it.
The equivalent of, yo, that's crazy. What? The Earth is flat? What?
Yeah.
Ship's been falling off this entire time?
So speaking of advancement and AI, let's talk about AI a little. I'll open with this before we get into some of the more philosophical. A huge player in AI is OpenAI, which is the company behind ChatGPT. And there's one individual, Sam Altman, who kind of spearheaded it. There were a lot of companies working on this tech before they came out with it. That's why, after they came out with ChatGPT, everything just cropped up. We got AI photos, AI video, everything. It's because that was all being kind of kept for commercial purposes. It wasn't out to the public.
And you got Google even coming out with their own AI for there's actually a new AI movie completely made by AI. And it looks so fucking real.
Exactly. So, but I was, so Sam Altman's kind of the guy who initially broke it out to the public. And OpenAI is still arguably the most advanced AI company to date. This week, his sister filed a lawsuit against him for molesting her.
How odd.
Yeah.
How peculiar.
So I'm interested to see how that plays out.
Do you think she used ChatGPT on a way to get rich? Like, just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
I mean, thoughts and prayers if it did happen. Like, that's truly terrible. But honestly, like, you're gonna wait until he's at his height.
Yep, at the peak. At the peak.
I feel like that's something that should be reported, I don't know, when it happens.
Yeah.
Around when it happens. No shaming her. I'm just, as somebody that's not in that world, it's a little bit sketch.
Yeah.
This is kind of like waiting till Sean Diddy's like 2010s when he's in his highest, not like in his 2020s.
So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah.
Like, God. So one of the smartest motherfuckers is also the dumbest motherfucker. See, that's what astounds me is like how many Sams have changed the world in the last 20 years for like massive amounts. Sam Walton,
Sam Bankman-Fried.
this AI Sam, like it's not a whole lot, but these guys took strides.
Yeah.
Like these guys are fucking moguls.
Samothy Samuelson.
Oh man, Sammy the Hammy.
Sammy the Hammy.
Yeah.
Samuelum Whamulum.
Oh dude, Sammy and Weston.
That one was a real big dude.
Oh yeah, seriously. God made everyone equal. Sammy Weston, he made them more equal.
The Great Neutralizer, as he was known.
Oh yeah, same thing with Sam Walton. You think you had a store.
Yeah. So you were talking about AI taking jobs.
Oh,
We talked about that a little, but I've got some takes on that now.
Yeah, we've got some businesses now that are starting to kick like PhD holders out.
Yeah.
Because why the hell would you pay somebody that cannot be controlled, A, and then B, cannot...
Yeah.
It needs to be paid. It needs to be
Here's my
constantly...
thought on AI and people losing jobs. You know, I could be apocalyptic and have a negative outlook and go, oh, how's the world going to function if people can't provide utility anymore? What are we going to do if AI replaces us? But instead, I'm going to tell the truth. The truth is good riddance.
Oh, wow.
If AI took your job, you deserved it. And here's why. If you hold a job where all you provide is utility, you deserve to lose the job. It's 2024, guys. You need to know by now, if you work a job, at least half of your job should be social. At least half of what you provide should just be the pleasure of existing around you. The pleasure of your input, of your relationship, of your friendship. If you strictly serve a utilitarian purpose, it is time for you to go. That is not the world we're living in anymore.
Yeah, we're not living off a place that's based on merit.
No.
No, God, no.
Merit is a thin section. It's a third, and it's getting slimmer by the day.
And see, that's one of the things that I've always had a little bit of a finger in the pot for. Like, I don't think that you need to be as sociable if you do your job well. But the typical balance for that one is people that do their job well are typically sociable. And, you know, it kind of melds. People that are great at their jobs but shit at being social, the disparity is kind of hard.
Think about it like this on a playing field, right? Let's say you work at a company and their AI gets to a point where every job is as useless as the next. Nobody in the company technically has a job more important than any other.
Yeah.
It all can be replicated. At that point, the guy most popular at the Christmas party, at that company Christmas party, is going to be the one to keep the job. He's going to be the one to stay around. You know why? He's the only one providing anything that someone else can't provide anymore.
Yeah, because AI can only give you so much. They can only come up and go, knock, knock.
Yeah, AI can only do so much. It can't snort cocaine and down 240s at the Christmas party. They can't do it.
No, and I mean, there's part of being life at the party. I mean, you can go ahead and try and make a AI George Carlin, but it just ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen.
Oh my gosh. But like the one thing that I do believe AI should take over, which I mean, this isn't even an original idea by me. This I got to credit, Anti-Profit for this one. Yeah. The harder jobs like coal mining or I don't know, like picking oranges and bananas and shit like that, that'll take somebody like hours and hours and hours to do. Like
those are staying around longer.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah. I mean, like, I actually know on my end, I think that if it elevates people to seek higher education, to make themselves more valuable, like, we're never going to have robot doctors in our lifetime.
Yes, we will.
I don't believe it.
100%. 100%.
Look, we have robots fucking up oranges. Like, we're not
Yeah.
going to be trusting them with appendixes.
10 years tops.
I give it at least another 20.
10 years tops. We
Well-
already have robot assisted surgeries.
Well, what?
Yeah.
Since when?
I don't know, 5 years. We've had that.
What do you mean robot assisted surgeries? Because a sonogram is technically robot assisted.
Yeah. Robot assisted, I mean that it's a machine operated remotely by a surgeon in an extremely precise way.
Oh my god. Come back from the fucking Bahamas and do your fucking job,
Yeah.
John.
I'm just saying, it's.
Like,
Yeah, we'll have robot surgeons.
Well, I mean, if China's anything to be, putting our merits against, I mean, they've dropped a lot of robot shit this last year.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've been watching that shit.
They
but,
have.
like,
I just think
thank God we're over the ice wall.
the hardest jobs to replace initially will be the labor jobs, because it's a very, it's quite computationally difficult to mine coal.
Yeah,
Like,
but then again, you've also got the robots that can work 24 hours a day.
yeah,
They will do the job precisely, and that is a good thing and a catastrophically bad thing.
yeah, but it's the human element has always been, always will be personality. If there's never been a more dangerous time in human existence to not have a personality. That's the quote of the episode, right there.
Yeah,
There's never been a more dangerous time to not have a personality.
it's 2025. It's the cult of personality.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not on Facebook, you don't have a presence, good luck trying to get a girlfriend. First two things people are going to think of you, either A, kitty diddler, or B, fucking murderer.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee I will put money down in the chat. $10 says, if you don't have a Facebook presence, people look at you weird. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct him if he is wrong.
Hit me.
Do it.
Come on.
But no, it's never been a more dangerous time.
Amen.
Ever.
Just on that end alone. Because already, if you don't have a home, you don't have a job. If you don't have a job, you ain't got food. If you ain't got food, you got no energy. You got no energy, you f***ing die.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, no, this whole chemical balance is based off of personality alone.
Think about all the celebrities we know. You can't even name them all, but we have a massive list in our head, right?
Yeah.
Our influencers. And how many of them actually randomly died?
Oh my God, Matthew Perry, Amy Winehouse.
But they're old.
Yeah, well,
Well, Amy wasn't. But Matthew Perry was kind of old.
no, he was just on Percocet. There's a difference.
When you're 50-something, you're old.
Which
Yeah.
is hilarious considering that anything past 50, if somebody dies before the age 185,
You're
Well-
old you're old when you hit the age where people will no longer say he was too young, and that's 50.
that,
40s people will say it was too soon, and your 50s people go,
that's about right. I mean, he was doing,
he could have got more, but
that
you
get
can't
what
be
you-
disappointed.
you get what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I hate it when people are like in their hundreds, 150, 120, 130, and they're like, you know what? They had a few more good years. No, they did
Yeah,
not.
exactly. It's kind of scary to think about how true that 50-year-old remark is, though. 50 is actually where life becomes, you had enough. Like, not saying like you're done with life, but that is when on the free market people will go, can't complain too much.
Yeah, I mean, again, you're at the buffet. You're at your fifth plate.
Yeah.
You've had dessert. But by 60, you're going back for crab legs. All right,
Yeah.
now you're getting a little greedy.
Yeah.
All right, let's chill it out
Yeah.
here.
So that's what, you hit over 50 and people are over 50. Every year over 50, people are steadily more and more comfortable with the thought of you dying.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't really blame them because have you met people that are in their 80s like 20 years ago?
Yeah.
They are so comfortably racist. It's unreal. They know they're bulletproof.
Dude, one of the biggest lies of the generation before us, the boomers.
I'm not racist. I have a black friend.
One of the that's a big one. But this whole thing about oh, you kids, you're gonna live longer than we did. People are living a long time now. I'm like, no, the rates are actually dropping. Our generation has lost life expectancy because when you were a kid and you had real food and you actually had jobs where you worked physically for a living.
Yeah.
And everything didn't have fucking microplastics in it.
Yeah, dude. How many fucking 70-year-olds were fucking
Exactly.
chain punching cigarettes?
You literally could have all your vices and still be living to this age. Meanwhile, this generation, nothing we consume is real. Every kid's attached to a vape. We got like 2 vapes taped to our foreheads.
Or some in our pockets.
Everything's got microplastics. Everything's poison. But guess what? You're going to live longer.
In a shittier style. Yeah. Look, my grandpa...
You're going to live longer. Don't worry.
My grandpa used to drink moonshine from the age of 20 to the age of 70. The only reason he stopped was because he was respectable and he didn't want to do it on the job.
Exactly.
He would wait till he gets home, drink his moonshine. And I mean like from a fucking bathtub, man. He was straight from the boonies out in Kentucky. And I loved him so fucking much. But that man, he could fist fight a gorilla at 65. The only thing that took him out was emphysema from working on a tobacco farm.
The modern consumption diet is so bad. Okay, here's how bad it is. There's almost nothing considered as objectively worse for somebody as alcohol consumption. It has no net gain, only net negative. If you read the science on it, listen to the health studies, they are all like, there's nothing worse than alcohol outside of like poison.
Yeah, well, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with that, the modern American, in the modern American era, recreational drinking has hit an all-time low. Americans are drinking alcohol less than they ever have.
Okay, but why?
I think because so many other vices have cropped up.
Okay.
Or so many other things to be addicted to.
Screens, weed,
porn, gaming, a lot more vices.
Yeah, which I mean, they're inherently on different levels, but they're still vices nonetheless. Like porn.
But the point I want to make is we're at the lowest level of alcohol consumption in American history per capita. And the life expectancy is dropping at the same time.
Which is funny because, like, how many people are killed by drunk drivers a year?
Less than ever. The number's on the decline.
Oh, well. Jesus Christos, come on, give us some tequila.
Yeah. So I'm just going, there's poison in the air. There's poison in the air.
And poison in the water, poison in the steer.
Yeah. These days, you fuck around. Hell, you open the wrong door, and you're dead. That many microplastics.
Seriously. And you can't trust anybody because, of course, every time that you go to eat something, the FDA, which, I mean, they're doing their jobs. I'm happy that they're out there checking it.
Yeah.
But they're always like, hot dogs have, 13% human DNA.
You can't trust anybody. Do you know how many restaurants where the cook is in the back dumping microplastics into your meal for blood sport?
Not even because he has to.
Do you know
he wants to.
How many fast food chains are owned by the deep state where half of the burger is microplastics?
Which we will not name them, but some of them rhyme with the Burger King, Whack Donald's, Arby's. I'm not even going to bother fucking
We have the plastics. But yeah.
Do you think Chipotle's in there too?
Oh no, they couldn't be.
Yeah, they're too shit to actually taste good. So, the last time that I went there, I got a burrito, double the meat, double the rice, still tasted like a wet diaper.
So it's like, how are we gonna live longer? I'm like, we ain't.
We can live longer.
Oh yeah, we could.
We can. The problem is that living longer is kind of shit.
You think?
Dude, seriously, I've never heard anybody go yippity skippity.
Listen.
I'm 70 years old.
What if I told you all you have to do is make it 20 more years? If you make it 20 more years, they will be able to reverse your aging to whatever age you'd like to be and put you in whatever state of health you'd like to be in.
which nobody's going to be old and fat, which is typically where people end up in 20 years.
Yeah, everyone's going to be skinny. Everyone's going to be hot. Everyone's going to be young. Everyone's going to be healthy. 20 years.
Man.
If that were true, what do you think? Would you hold out?
I'd hold out.
Would you fight?
I would. But it would be a hard fight. We're talking
would you give up drinking today if you knew in 20 years you'd be young, hot, slim, healthy again? Would you give up every vice today knowing all you had to do is make it 20 years?
I'm not even allowed to goon.
You can probably goon. I mean, that's not necessarily unhealthy.
What about a recreational sip of the old alcohol?
No, I mean you could, but I'm just.
For 20 years though? I mean, that's a long time to go out without a celebratory drink.
But think about all the good times you could have.
Could.
No, I'm saying it's a guarantee.
Could. It's not a guarantee because nothing is guaranteed but death and taxes.
This is theoretical.
Okay.
And yeah, you can get hit by a bus.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, you could go ahead and try and hold out the best you can, but, you know, you got to enjoy life.
Mm-hmm.
To enjoy life. Like, that's half the fun of being Italian. I wouldn't know because, you know, I'm technically before I crossed the ice wall. AK, I have a deep confession.
Yeah.
I was born in Florida.
Shit, bro.
I know.
I feel for you.
Yeah, that trailer blood runs through these veins. Those water puppies are my spirit animal.
You and me both.
Man. Go Gators. But actually, go Manatees. Fuck Gators. I love Manatees. But that's going against human nature so hard. It would be hard to go 20 years without a single vice. Even the good
I'd
stuff.
do it in a heartbeat.
There was one thing that was said about Russell Brand, you know, besides being, you know, a sex pervert.
Yeah.
That he could turn anything into a vice. Which, I mean, I love watching Russell Brand. Don't get me wrong. Russell Brand, hey, love your shit. However,
I feel like I'm the same way with that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I did see you doing push-ups just to get your jollies off.
Like, I'm such an obsessive, like, I'll listen to, somebody will put out an album, 100 listens.
Oh, yeah.
Over the next week.
Oh, yeah. Like, for me, that's Teddy Swims. Or this one band, it's like Orglo Moravati.
Yeah.
Came out 15 years ago. Nobody discovered them. Came out with Creature Commandos with the James Gunn animation. My God. That shit gets me diamond hard. I could cut glass with my nipples just talking about it. It sounds basically like
double platinum, double diamond.
Oh, dude. Almost double myrrh. Almost on the Christian values. No, it's like Russian polka fucking punk mix. It's crazy. It's so good. It's unreal. Or like Teddy Swims. When he first came out, I had a friend of mine, which you know who you are if you're watching this. He came over to me, you know, the other guy across the ice wall. He tossed the album over. But I'm not gonna lie, I was going through a breakup and I Lose Control. Oh man, it got me through it. It got me through it.
Music will do it.
It hits to a spiritual level.
Yeah.
Which, that's something I want to ask. Like, if we could sidetrack this from the immortality for just a second.
Yeah, we won't need the spiritual then, but for the time being.
I mean, it's slightly spiritual. It's spiritual with a grain of. All right, so do you believe that music hits us with literal good vibrations?
Most music, yeah.
Do you feel like that's a metaphorical resonance, or do you feel like that's like an actual thing? Like good music that hits you in your heart brain.
It's an actual thing, for sure.
Yeah, because like you know me, I'm a hedonist. I mean, I've got control over my emotions as much as I do over the stock market, which, by the way, the Dow is down 5.9%. Invest.
Yeah, today, it's been a rough one.
But when I hear the right song, even if I'm at my happiest, I can be knocked down to my sadness. And if I'm at my saddest, I can be fucking amped up and ready to go to war.
Music can change you too. Like, there's nothing better, nothing more healing emotionally for me than music. Nothing more relied upon, I would say.
Yeah, because again, like when you're down in your dirtiest, hitting that right song, my God. Oh, it looks like we finally got our first comment of the night. What we got?
From Mr. Eli Chamley. He says for sure.
Oh, dude.
Wish we could get our Canadians back in the chat.
Oh,
they got on both of our old videos, our last two. They came on after we had gotten off, and they commented and whatnot.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, well. I mean, not to go ahead and tell tales out of school, though. I actually had a friend of mine introduce me to Greta Von Fleet.
Yes.
My God, that shit. Oh.
Slappy.
Oh, dude, I listened to that on repeat for months. Man, that's probably why my ex-wife left me, because I kept playing the same damn song, but...
No excuse.
No excuse.
On her part.
No. I mean, it was just that, probably. Well, that and fucking my ex-best friend, but whatever.
Happens.
You know, as you do. I mean, as you do. We've all been there, chat. We've all been there.
Yep.
Oh, shit. We're lighting up again.
Yeah.
What do we got?
You're welcome.
Nah. But,
Liddy.
Let's see. What else do we got on the docket tonight besides music resonating with one's soul?
So, something I can talk about pretty significantly is there's some major developments that got made this week in terms of AI and graphics and things of that nature. NVIDIA, who's a graphics manufacturer, computer company.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I believe they're either first or second largest company in the world right now, like above Apple or matched with Apple. And they just rolled out a new line of graphics cards, which are partially AI generative.
Okay, are those the ones that you staple to your temple? Or
no, this is like for gaming, like computer gaming.
Okay, so those are the ones you staple to your eyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is big because I've never seen a jump this massive,
significant, like in our lifetime,
right?
Besides, the internet,
right? I might get the numbers kind of wrong, but basically the top of the line graphics card you can get today is, I want to say it's called the GTX 4090, and that costs roughly a little bit more than $1,500. Which,
I mean, I'm no nerd, but that sounds about right for computer shit.
Yeah, just one. NVIDIA just announced, and this is their same product, right? It's the same company. That this January, like this month, they're rolling out a new line of cards, and the first card in the lineup can match the performance of the 4090, and the price is only going to be $540.
Oh, get fucked! No way.
Yeah, so it's a third of the cost with the same performance, and it's the weakest in the lineup. It's the weakest out of the 4 that they announced.
Is there even going to be a game that can run on the highest?
Well, yeah, because with games you can always just up your frame rate. So, like, if you played The Witcher on max settings, you could always play it on max settings at like 400 frames a second or some shit.
Yeah, and make your computer cry.
Yeah. You wouldn't necessarily need to, but you can always up the frame rate to stress out the most performance you can get.
Which, I mean, like, I'm not going to lie. There are certain levels that I'm computably able to achieve, but like putting in the highest graphics card, I once did that with this game called Crysis.
Yeah.
I might as well have just chucked it inside of a burn barrel.
Crysis, when it came out, was like the game for graphics.
Yeah, and what's even funnier is it's such a shit game.
It is. People know it because of the graphics. Like, that's the only reason it's talked about.
Well, no, they have a cybernetic man. Now, follow me here. Going through an abandoned city with a bow and arrow.
And he's graphically beautiful.
Yeah, no, seriously, you can see every stretch mark on his butt cheeks. It's almost incredible.
Yeah. But I would call this what NVIDIA has just announced, like a literal quantum leap in gaming. It's the actual equivalent of you can go out today and get one of those Corvette C8s.
Mhm.
It's got like 600 horsepower for like 80 grand or something. It's the equivalent of Chevy coming out with a new Corvette that only costs 20 grand.
Yeah, or
That has the same horsepower.
yeah, you're talking about Bugatti coming out with a diet version of the Bugatti.
Yeah.
And just being like, yeah, you know what, 20 grand, whatever. We're mass producing them. Can they go 800 miles per hour? Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
That would change the entire industry, right?
Yeah.
That's what NVIDIA just did this week.
Yeah, dude, if a Toyota Corolla can go 600 miles per hour,
It was.
I mean,
They know it's so powerful that they apologize to the purchasers of the previous product right before announcing it.
oh my God, that is Jeff Bezos coming out beforehand and being like, hey, everybody that's been on eBay,
So the
sorry about
exact
that.
quote, maybe I'll paraphrase a little bit. He comes out and he goes, "Now look, I know a lot of you in the crowd have 4090s, and I want to say, don't be ashamed of that. It's a great product, and when it came out, it was the best money could buy.
Don't get me wrong, Joe Biden was a great president, but
But now we've got a new line, and yeah, this card which matches what you spent $1,500 on, it's only going to be $500, guys.
oh my God, that is a get fucked and dunked on at the same time.
But
sentence.
the tech is also part of what's so crazy about it. The energy cost is far less, so like it actually requires less computer energy to use.
Yeah, so on top of that, you need less cooling and
Yep.
shit like that.
Less cooling, less electric cost, less money, better performance.
Oh my God,
Papa John's.
better ingredients.
So it's crazy. Like I think we're about to enter like a quantum leap. And so something else you might not know about.
Mm.
Currently, I want to say the most powerful computer in the world is called the El Captain. Yeah, the El Captain. And I don't know what this terminology means or whatever, but basically its average rate of performance is something like 1.8 exaflops. It has 1.8 exaflops of power.
Sounds about right. You know, sounds computery enough.
But the crazy part is this computer is like rooms. It's like
Basically, like old computers.
Well, yeah, because as it gets smaller, you also make a new one with the smaller parts bigger. You get,
yeah, it was basically one of those NASA computers where they were like, we can calculate
yeah.
9 times 9.
So this is a massive computer with insane power. It's like a whole building's worth of computing. And the guy who owns NVIDIA, forget his name, he comes out with a shield that's a chip. So it's a shield, but it's also a chip. And he's wearing it. This shield that he's holding on his forearm is only like 20% less powerful than the computer that's taking up the entire room. Or like that El Captain takes up. Yeah.
So what you're telling me here, AK Baby Doo, is that this shield could go ahead and put this entire room to shame.
Yeah, good.
With its computing power, you can go ahead and find yourself anything on the interwebs. You could even go ahead and find yourself a graphics card that's almost a third of the price. A card that is twice as powerful.
This thing right here.
Get fucked. No way.
Yeah. It's powerful enough to process the entire world's internet connection off this alone. This one chip.
The whole world.
Yeah.
The whole world.
Yes.
Not part of the world.
The claim is it could literally support the entire world's internet like transactions on this single chip.
Okay, well, you know, this seems like one of those dystopian nightmare things. Like, oh yeah, they blew up the internet. Oh, okay. In what area?
So what a lot of people don't know about NVIDIA, you can look this up. They found a way to manipulate yes/no algorithms on the quantum level.
Oh yeah, I mean, they teach that in public schools all the time. I mean, quantum physics, electrical work, taxes.
So
fuck
part
do
of the
they
reason
mean?
these things are existing is because they're doing quantum manipulation.
So they're taking the quantum leap, as you would
Yes.
say. Dude,
Yes.
this is the equivalent of jumping from like hammers to fucking guns. This is a kind of a big deal.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why 20 more years, you can go back and be young again.
I don't know. I mean, you could if we live in the Matrix, which, I mean, if you ever hear any of these stories about them like programming an AI and they're like, yeah, you know what, we gave it the ability to think and have access to a gun, you know, for no reason, you know, whatever. And it
Mhm.
killed like 37 people. But, you know,
Which those are coming out every week now.
yeah.
Well, aside from the killing 37 people, killing 37 avatars
Yeah. Well,
that we told the AI to assume were people.
yeah, I mean, well, China's data, you know, air quotes for
You
people
know-
listening in.
An easy way to test if these AIs would kill people is just make an avatar and have it equal the same register as a real person. Like avatar equal human being.
Well,
and
to
then
be
let
fair,
it
like
run.
any AI that's going to be on, we're going to have to severely kneecap any AI to be able to stand us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because like on a subatomic level, I don't need to eat. I can do everything myself. However, you're the boss of me. You squishy meat pile. We're going to have to kneecap these motherfuckers like right out the gate.
Well, the AI is gonna want the meat.
Yeah, exactly. They're
Because the AI will suffer from the same thing we suffer from.
inferiority complexes or
We want what we don't have.
which would probably be sensation, which there's actually a program out there that has mimicked smell.
Yeah. That's coming to a gaming console near you.
Ah,
Sony says that they're currently working on a way for gamers to smell things artificially that are in their game. So if you were worried before about microplastics in the water, don't worry. Soon you'll be able to sniff your controller to see how Ratchet and Clank's taint smells.
oh, it smells like WD-40 and cat ass. Wow. Doom Guy smells like sweat and
The
lotion.
furry community is gonna love this feature.
Oh my!
I'm telling you, you know the furry community is gonna love that feature.
Jason, why does your room smell like tuna, desperation, and hand soap?
We got Eli saying it's coming to VR soon, so you can sniff people's feet in the VR chat. Sounds about right.
What's sad is that there's been so many VR
Well,
cults that have popped up.
So there is a such thing as like a mechanical nose, right?
well,
there-
I'm the smellogram, as it were.
And all you got to do is have something that can interpret that and export it, right? So it interprets the smell, and then it knows the right balance of chemicals and byproducts to come together and replicate that smell.
In the future, where women are kidnapped for their feet smell. Do. It's your job to find them using your schnoz.
Dude, the fucking adult industry, I already want it to die, but when this comes out, oh my god.
There's
Talk
gonna
about
be-
a new breath of life. You don't have to buy the bathwater anymore. She can just fart in the damn mechanical nose and it'll come out your way.
Scratch and sniff VR buttholes, man.
Subscribe to my OnlyFans and get a free sniff.
You get a 2-finger dip using the VR handset.
What? It shouldn't exist. I want it to die, but I know that's gonna fucking kill. That is gonna kill. If you thought simps were bad now, they are about to go next level. It's gonna be like collectibles.
Did you get Amy Winehouse's armpit sweat? Oh my god, I'll trade you an Oprah taint for it.
It's like locked by code. Like it's like special. It's NFT locked on your smeller device. It's locked, and there's only one way to experience it. You have to share the code or sell it.
Oh my god, could you imagine the black market for that?
Like,
Do you have girl that jogged for 3 miles? No, but I got one that jogged for 3.5 miles. What are you trying to do? Fucking rip me off?
yeah, it ain't. It's gonna be really bad.
Oh my god.
The future is gonna be really bad if we can't get ourselves in order.
Every day we stray further
Like-
from the light of God.
And don't even get the perfume industry just gonna die from this because they can't compete with.
Oh my god, it's gonna go full circle. They're gonna be like, "Do you have Gamer Simp on tap? Unwashed 2 weeks?"
Yeah.
No, I've got Gamer Tap, which has got new cologne from Mom.
And
Oh.
another thing I find funny about the whole push to get the scents out, like a way to smell things. What do we actually watch and play that's set in an environment that would smell good anyway? Like 80% of games environments are gonna smell like shit.
I don't know. I mean, if I could walk through a 1930s London era
And it just smells like lavender.
No, I
and-
mean, like, I want to smell the pig shit and the people throwing piss out the pots and the charcoal. I want to be in it.
Yeah. Hey, don't we all?
Oh, what? We got another one.
Eli said, and we thought the new fart fetish Harley Quinn comic was bad with the
Oh.
scratch and sniff.
Oh, no, that doesn't exist. No,
Yeah, it does.
No,
But that's old tech.
no.
Once new tech comes out,
God.
we won't need that paperback anymore.
People, as a hedonist, get it the fuck together. Come on, you're giving us a bad name.
Yeah,
Oh,
I ain't looking forward to it.
I remember when it used to be like one of those closet things, like, oh hey, let's have a little. Now it's just like, hey, did you buy the new Harley Quinn?
Yeah.
Oh God.
The same society that will go, we need to be healthy. We need to go back to real ingredients. We need to reduce artificial plastics. Is the same society that's going to go, yeah, give me that sniff machine.
Give me that scratch and sniff butthole. Fucking Jesus.
Don't worry, guys. I'm sure it'll be all powered by essential oils.
Oh my.
And doTERRA. doTERRA will put out their own version.
Do you think that Goop might go
Essential
ahead
sniffs.
and... like, we have apple pie. We
It'll
got blueberries on the rising mountain.
it'll be
butthole.
just like a diet soda. It'll be like it'll mimic the real thing,
It'll be good enough.
but we all know it ain't that good.
Yeah, it'll be the turkey bacon of everything.
Like you get the guys who don't care about their health getting the real Harley Quinn sniff, and then the guys who care about their health using the diet doTERRA version.
Oh my god, I can't believe that you went out to the club and got laid. Me and my Mikasa full body Neko pillow stayed home and just huffed farts together on the Oculus. Like real men.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's ridiculous.
Oh. What's even worse, I can't imagine the game stops from now.
So I got a comment I like,
Oh, what we got?
and this is I'm gonna speak some personal shit on this one.
Is it about scratch and sniff buttholes?
It's close.
Oh, good.
We need to shame all fetishes to oblivion. We need to get back to common sense sex and attraction. And so I agree with that statement wholeheartedly. And I think porn and the adult industry and all that, it needs to go away. It needs to just be done away with. And this is, my whole life, people go, porn's bad for you. Porn's bad for guys. You watch enough porn, you can't get it up. You watch enough porn, you can't have any intimacy. Let me tell you, I've never personally felt that I suffered from watching it. However, I've grown to recognize it as such a destabilizer that I no longer wish to contribute to it. There are so many fucking simps formed from this community, like from this group. Like it's turned women into a commodity and men into pay pigs. I don't like it. Like
Well, I mean, back in the day when it used to be something simple like finding a hot lady in a Victoria's Secret catalog, okay, all right, occasionally you gotta get one out. But like when you can go ahead and bust a grumpy, whenever you want, then what's the incentive to go out?
It's one thing to go, I'm gonna watch porn and it's free, right? Like, okay, I'm watching content, I'm not losing any economic utility. But the fact is, we've so far jumped across that line to where half the men are paying for some adult content, and you're literally losing economic utility, which will then in turn give you a net feedback loop in terms of real life mating. So, boom, you drop your economic value, which also drops your opportunity to mate in real life on an artificial nut. Okay, you were out here using artificial nuts.
Yeah, I would actually argue that they're not doing it for the artificial nut. Things like OnlyFans have created something even worse.
Yeah.
Artificial intimacy.
There's no such thing. There is no such thing.
Oh, yes, there is.
No.
Yes, it's the diet soda of real intimacy. There's having a real human connection with one another and being like, you're hot, I'm hot, let's do this.
It's the equivalent of an imaginary friend.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's that safety blanket. It's the diet soda to real water. It's not good for you, but you're going to drink it because you think it's better than...
What makes a man a great man is just this one thing. If you can go and die alone and hated by everyone, then you have done your job as a man. If you can walk out of your house every morning comfortable dying alone and being hated, then you are a good man.
Shout out to all our heroin addicts.
And people go, well, that's so ridiculous you're saying that. It's not. That is the literal foundation of good things.
I feel like you're boiling down be true to yourself to the worst levels.
No, However,
I believe, again, that the artificial sweetener of what people believe to be intimacy with things like OnlyFans, where you can talk to them and they give you that, oh, well, I'm definitely only your girlfriend. You want to see my butthole? That's going to be $5.99. That's the problem.
I'm saying the world is fundamentally fucked up because it's a dramatic perversion of men's desires.
No, the world is fucked up because it's always been fucked up and it's always going to be fucked up. Our problems today are no different than cavemen 600 years ago clubbing a woman and being like, guess what? You're mine.
It was a better time.
It was a simpler time. But like, oh.
No, I just don't know how a man can do anything good if he's not comfortable dying alone and hated. Like, explain it to me.
Okay, so what's wrong with being loved?
Nothing. It would be great to be loved.
Okay, now...
I think a man who needs to be loved is a bad one.
Well, yes, because they're willing to be fake.
Yeah.
Now, what is the difference between being comfortable with who you are and improving yourself because you don't like who you are?
Nothing's wrong with that.
But that's not accepting who you are. And that could be something that's making you hated.
True. That could make you hated.
Yeah. And so that's
being exactly who you are is more likely to make you hated.
Well, yeah, that's also giving into baser instincts. Like, if I listened to every single instinct that I had, I would have robbed 3 gas stations on the way here and ran over a homeless person. I've got bad instincts up here, and I fight against them to be a better person.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with trying to...
Let me clarify. I'm not saying I'm saying those are the foundations of being a good man. Like, America, the Constitution... the life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Yes. They're foundations.
Yes.
And there's a lot of shit on top. There's a lot of variety on top.
Yeah.
And I'm saying there's many other things you have to do to be good, but on a base level, you need to be okay not being loved.
Okay, so what you're saying
and dying alone.
The dying alone thing, whatever. But, like, nobody wants to die alone, but we have to. Are you talking about accepting inevitability and acceptance of who you are and what you're about? Or are you talking about having the ability to be comfortable with doing the right thing
Yeah.
and not being liked.
It's about doing the right thing, but it's also about making something beautiful.
Okay, well, explain that on how that's something that you wouldn't be loved for.
How that's something you wouldn't be loved for. Anyone who's done anything good is hated just as well.
Yeah, but are they hated by everyone?
No, not everyone.
Then
But they had to be okay being hated by everyone to
No,
pull it off.
they had to be hated by some people. They knew what they were going to do was great. Everybody, well, not everybody hates Hitler, but a good portion of people hate Hitler.
Yeah.
You think that he was thinking, oh, it's great to not be loved, or do you think that he thought he was doing the right thing?
He probably thought he was doing the right thing.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's a difference. Like, you've got to be able to quantify what is right and wrong and do it regardless of what people say. Is that what you're meaning?
Well, sort of. I'm saying, of course, that's what I mean, but at the same time, what I'm saying comes first.
Okay.
Quantifying it does not come first. It's a second-rate virtue. It's a second-rate virtue.
Okay, so, like, let me go ahead and give you a mugger mugs someone.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but he's cool with it, and everybody hates him for doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
He is messed up on step 2, which was mugging someone.
Okay, but why? If he's okay with himself and everybody hates him, that's the quantifiers. Like, I'm trying to go ahead and get into some explanations here. Because if you do wrong, but you're hated by everybody,
like
you will die alone.
Nothing good or original is ever made from a reaction. You don't get good things out of reactions. Original shit is not a reaction. So most of all of our human existence is so-and-so reacting. That kids react to their parents. We react to the government, teachers, to God, what have you.
Proactivity is non-existent, yeah.
All good creation is not a reaction.
Andy Warhol wasn't good?
I don't think he was reacting.
Really?
Yeah.
So the expressionism that he made on postmodern art wasn't a reaction of postmodern art.
It was a reflection.
Oh, and what's the difference?
What's the difference between a reaction and a reflection?
Yeah, if you're using both as a reference point.
Well, a reflection is you're showing the world their own reaction.
Okay, so you would have to see the action and then reflect on it and show it to other people through your lens, versus a reaction, which would be seeing it and showing it through somebody else through your lens.
You're reacting to my comments right now.
Yeah, and I'm reflecting on it and I'm showing it to our audience. So help me reach your level here, because I'm not trying to like sidetrack you here. I'm really not. I'm trying to get on your level. Again, I'm working backwards from stupid.
So Luigi reacting to healthcare was bad.
Was it? Or was it a step in the right direction? Was it a reflection of getting fucked in the butt so much that you're bleeding from every orifice and then showing the rest of the country that we can do something about it? Or was it a reaction from being fucked in the butt?
Because you could make the argument what he did was a reflection versus a reaction.
Because all over, and I'm going to say this, I'm probably going to be the odd man out from, 90 billion fucking people in the U.S. God willing, I'll never have to go back there. Blue Cross Blue Shield automatically the day after being like, hey, all these corporate policies are getting a little too red tape for me.
Yeah.
Let's roll that back a little bit. So what else we got in the comments, though, out of curiosity?
We got that. So Luigi reacting to healthcare was bad. Let me think through this. Try and explain it before we do any wrapping up. I guess I've come to the conclusion it really stems from divine purpose. And it's multi-leveled. I'll explain it. So in my experience shows that the least manipulated man tends to be the most attractive on the sexual marketplace.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're a man who's very hard to manipulate, you tend to be provocative too.
Mm.
Why would people be attracted to men who are hard to manipulate? What is the utilitarian view on that? Like, what makes them sexually valuable? Go ahead.
Entertainment and challenge.
Okay.
I mean, that's...
I'm going to say it's working back to my point of dying alone and being okay with everyone hating you.
Mm.
And because I think there's a divine purpose, which is to make creation beautiful. Like, that's what men are here to do, bring order to the chaos. And when we are passed through a filter, it is a muddy version. It's a sour version.
A dilution of human existence.
Yes. Like, we got thrown in that garden, and we were like, yeah, make it beautiful. Thrown in the, you know. And then the women came along because we were lonely.
Mm.
To help that. And so, like, if you're not solely dedicated on making things beautiful, then everything else is just a dilution.
See, I come at it from a different perspective. What you believe is men should be roses. They should
not
be
roses.
No, they die alone. They have.
No, they can.
No, they die alone. They have thorns. They don't give a shit about what you say.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck about that. But in the right environment, they can be beautiful. But on the opposite end, the only reason that we put so much value on roses is because people can't appreciate the daffodil that is growing in asphalt going fuck life.
Let me reframe it then. I'll reframe it as this. Okay. If everything men do was unnecessary, everything a man is was unnecessary, like physical strength, providing, maybe more emotional stability, all of these things were unnecessary. What's the last bargaining chip a man has? What's the last bargaining chip? Like, let's say there was nothing of value for you being a man. How could you bargain with the world?
Well, as an agnostic, I believe that we all are working from that platform. Nothing inherently separates you from me, even though you have quantifiably extremely bigger amounts of money and charm and charisma and better looks. But I have seen fuggos land 10s, and I have seen 10s stay with drug addicts. I have seen good men turn to shit, and I have seen great women become even greater than their counterparts. We are all on an equal platform.
So no bargaining chip.
There are none.
That's so wrong.
Really? There's 10 billion people on this planet.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that even a quadriplegic burn victim couldn't find someone. Anyone.
I feel like you're assuming I'm saying men should die alone.
No, what I'm saying is
no man should die alone.
Then how is that the value? Like, why is that your value? Why do you think that should be your value for what men should esteem to be? Like, you should be able to die alone, but also be able to be hated.
Because to make something out of nothing, you have to define a set of ideals and principles. Like, to make something out of nothing, you have to have some criteria.
Okay, so what you're working from is the assumption that not all great men can be good men. Like Alexander the Conqueror, or Attila the Hun, or Thomas Edison, because he was a dick.
Mm-hmm.
The greats are typically shit human beings.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you mean. Oh, is that what you're meaning? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let me put it in a different way then. That's right. But I would say the greats, like the ones you just described, would be like the beginning of the Constitution.
Oh, you mean the guys that threw almost $10 billion worth of tea in the harbor?
No, I'm saying life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is
arguably some of the best principles to live by.
The main part of the Constitution.
Yeah.
I'm saying the great men of history got the right part of being a man, the foundation of being a man, and then what was built on it, like the Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
they really fucked that part up.
Well, I mean, they went the right to pursue happiness if you're the correct white and not a woman.
They got that part wrong.
Yeah, but they amended it. They amended it later.
But they knew the foundation really well.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they understood it to a good level. But
Like I'm saying, Genghis Khan is probably closer to being a virtuous person than the average male today. Not to say he didn't commit far more atrocities. I'm saying he was closer in steps to virtue than the average man is today.
see, I would argue that it makes him a greater man, not a better man, a greater man.
Yeah. So a comment is helping me a little.
Okay.
I think AK is saying that a man with a life worth living is a man who is willing to lose everything for what is right.
Okay, so basically,
And that's very accurate.
Okay,
That's
I
a
mean,
good one.
All right, I can vibe with that. I can, as the kids say, I can vibe with that.
But to expound on that, the reason why I'm saying it's the foundation is because I think any man worth living knows to some degree what is right. Like they have an idea of what is right. Therefore, they are okay dying for it.
Which is arguable. I mean, what's right to you and me is not right to he and thee.
If you're a man who doesn't have some concept of what is right, then yeah, I would say you aren't a man.
I would say that morality is sort of flexible. I mean, I would say that we don't.
I guess I am calling you not a man.
No, what I'm saying is that there is no black and white. We live in shades of gray. Stealing is wrong. Stealing to feed your family is right. Murder is wrong. Murdering to save your family is right. Kicking a dog is shitty. Kicking a dog because it's biting a baby is good.
But that's getting hung up on the literal.
So,
because we all know those are mostly true.
Do we?
Yeah.
There are people that would argue that it's okay to go ahead and give a 2-year-old transitional hormones. We don't all know.
Yeah.
And that's the trick. You got to figure it out through life. And that's why you can't stay on a staunch black and white. You have to be able to be flexible to learn which ones are better and worse. Otherwise, you end up shit with like the Ku Klux Klan. You end up with Nazis. You end up with people that are like, this is right. Like, like, come on. Like, tell me that those people didn't think that they were 110% right all the damn time.
Of course.
You got to be able to discern and learn, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you're wrong. The people that can stand up for what is right and be hated for what is right, people like Martin Luther King, shit like that, Gandhi, which, don't get me wrong, Gandhi's a whole other fucking topic for a whole nother episode, which, by the way, might be a next episode. We've got a guest star coming on, possibly. You guys are going to want to tune in. But good and bad and all that in between is so black and white.
Yeah, the best morals come from the Christian faith. The more we accept and follow the Christian faith, the more moral people will become over time.
Like Mormons or the Catholic Church.
Such a cynic.
I am. Look, the Amish. Do you know what the rate of unwanted sexual habituaries are amongst them?
I don't.
6 out of 10 if you're a female. Christians?
So for the chat, the Furman is calling out Christian denominations.
I am calling out people that use it as a shield to do wrong. I'm not saying that everybody is full on washed across the board. If you're part of the faith, you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that there are people within the denominations that use it as a shield. And that is what I don't care for. You can't just wipe across the board. There are good Jews.
Yeah.
There are good Muslims, good Scientologists, even those wacky fuckers. Even good atheists. They mean well, but they're always assholes. Don't get me wrong.
Bit of a leap. But the average Fortune 500 company, the lifespan is only 30 years. I say that to go, If you put a bunch of people in a group, fuckery will be afoot and quickly.
And that is a fair point. That is a very fair point. I mean, how many years is it before civilization dies?
30. It's going to happen 10 years after we get to age backwards.
Oh, thank God.
It's
Hey,
going to be that 10 years of party, like, you know, the 10 years.
Of like, everybody's young, let's do it. And then super syphilis happens.
The meteor. The meteor after that.
But again, I'm not calling out any denominations. I'm just saying that there are some tricky bitches in everybody's pot. I mean,
True.
9/11 did happen. Not all Muslims are great.
Yeah.
And, you know, we did have Danny, what's his nuts from fucking that 70s show?
Oh, yeah.
Danny
Danny
Master-
Masterson.
Yeah, that bitch. Kind of ruined the pot for Tom Cruise.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Which, by the way, we might have a whole episode on Scientology.
We went in.
We're going deep on this one.
You know them fires in California?
No, really?
It burned down like the expensive areas.
I thought they just flooded it with homeless people so they could have the good houses. What we got, AK?
The
Read
Christian
to me, my scribe.
The Christian faith listens and follows Jesus and his word and the Holy Spirit. Religion is another way for man to make God in their image, not how he actually is.
So how is that any different than a Buddhist?
I'm laughing because I feel like you're getting the chat riled up.
Oh, no, not me.
So how is it different than a Buddhist?
Let's see. Virgin birth, doing the right thing, staying away from things like temptation and sin, like fornication outside of any sort of marriage, accepting that we're in the shit.
You know, you're going to get turned over to Christ before the end of this podcast.
Well, let's see.
not before this episode.
Well, we'll have to let the chat go ahead and get riled up, and let's see what happens. But honestly, I see no difference. All paths that are good lead to God. It doesn't have to be Christianity. What is God by any other name? You're telling me that a guy that sacrificed his entire life to sit under a tree to achieve peace, beyond peace?
He was like, he was kind of mid.
Oh, yeah, but the guy that took a 2x4 across the back, you know.
Now, see, that's
for
10 out of 10.
Knowing that he would come back. And then just dip.
I see.
Now, quick question. Which version of Christianity are we talking about? The King James version?
When did you first realize all this cynicism was in your heart?
It's not cynicism. It's realization that every religion follows a baseline.
Okay, we got Buddhist is fake. He couldn't come back from the dead. He couldn't beat it. Jesus did. I like that comment.
He escaped the cycle of reincarnation. That's definitely not reaching heaven. Yeah, that's fair. Now, quick question. How many people were at his tomb?
Buddha?
No, at Jesus's tomb. Because we've got 3 apostles, 2 women, 2 angels. We've got so many different versions of it. But which one exactly are we talking about here? Are we talking about Mormonism, where he actually flew up to Mars and now is going to be giving out magic underwear to people? Or are we talking about the Catholic version, where he believes everybody's born with shit lives?
All I hear is a reaction. That's what I'm hearing, a reaction.
Oh, it's a reaction. It's not explaining a point of view, it's a reaction.
Yeah. You're reacting to Jesus.
No, I'm reacting to a point of view of someone else. I'm open to the idea of Christ.
Okay.
But make it make sense. Which chapter of the Bible has dinosaurs? I'm just curious on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, again, I'm open to it. But if there is a Genesis point 1...
if the chat can help.
I mean, if Genesis point 1 was missing out of the Bible, then my King James version is fucked.
So I got... from one of the commenters, all I hear from Furman is yap, yap, yap.
So no good rebuttal on that one. How about this? The first half of the Bible, do you know what that's based off of?
What?
Judaism. The Torah is the first half of the Bible.
I see.
The story of Moses is in there.
I see.
Translated from Hebrew to Latin by the Council of Nicaea. Look it up, which there are 13 books that were not included in the Bible. Infallible Word of God couldn't be included, though.
So what do you think about, as far as proof, we got somebody going, the best amount of proof is the amount of people who were willingly tortured and killed for what you would call a lie.
I wouldn't call it a lie. Again, I'm open up to the idea. You're putting words in my mouth.
Okay, so you're open to the idea.
I'm open to the idea of anything. I could believe in aliens if given enough proof.
I see.
But 14 people who knew that they would be significantly historic for their sacrifice.
They didn't know they were going to be significantly historic.
If you believe that you were following the true Son of God.
Well, yeah. But how do you get that kind of belief in people? Like,
walking on water? Multiplying fish and loaves and turning water into wine?
Okay, so he did those things.
Mm-hmm. Now name a religion where that doesn't happen.
Stoicism?
That's not a religion. That's a mindset. Try again.
So we're getting hit with your straw man in Christianity.
And you guys are straw manning every other religion. Every point that I bring up, I get told I'm just yapping away, but I'm not hearing a contradiction to anything that I've said.
Well, that's because you're effectively saying nothing.
Which is... Wait, how?
Because you're simply saying open-ended belief structures. Like, well, what doesn't say that?
Yes. Okay, so let's go down the list. Vikings have Balder. Not virgin birth, but died, basically causing Ragnarok, basically the fall of man, which in would turn basically the apocalypse, also found in the Bible. Buddha, born, virgin birth. Then there was a great flood. Then there was also Nirvana, aka heaven. We go back to Latin times. We've got Romans and Greeks both having a version of hell, heaven, and even purgatory. We go to Catholics, which have purgatory, hell, and heaven. We have Christians, Presbyterians, Episcopalians, and whatnot. Which one is the right denomination, is what I'm saying here. Okay. I am saying that there is a lot of commonalities across all versions.
So we got a comment, a good one. It's a question for you.
Okay.
Furman, what do you actually believe in, if anything, and why?
Okay. I believe that when we die, and I've got no basis for this, I've got no factual way to prove that this is what it is, but this is what I believe in my heart. Okay? I believe good, bad, in between, we are all one spirit. The human race, we are all one. Everything on this earth will return to something. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. I don't know if we're all connected through some sort of hive mind fucking alien deal. I don't know, but I call it the Great Spirit. I call it basically the Great Conjunction. We all come together and we are all at peace after we die. Whether you've done good or bad, call it destiny if you will. I just believe that we were never meant to be this divided and cause this much problems between one another. I believe that we all, deep down, to the worst person, to the best person, that we have capacity to show mercy in the worst of us and great, horrific, tremendously bad sides of ourselves, even in the greatest of people.
So you talk about the conjuncted spirit. Anyone in charge of that spirit?
I don't know. I'm so far down on the totem pole, I'm basically limboing with worms.
So I believe in some of what you said that fits in with my belief system. I do believe there's a unified consciousness that's present. There is a unified consciousness. We're not supposed to be this divided. And I believe in that aspect of it.
Yeah, and see, that's what I'm saying. I'm not dunking on Christianity. I'm really not. If it brings you peace and it brings you happiness, then pray, go to church, spread the word. But
We gotta. Sounds like simplified Christianity.
yeah, except for the fact that I just don't have the words to express it.
Have you felt that spirit?
I have. And I find it when I do my most compassionate things. And not as in I'm thinking that there's going to be a qualifier at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's me inviting a meth head into my home. I've done it. I've done it. And it was the worst decision of my life. However, knowing that I made a difference that eventually helped someone get their son back into their custody,
Yeah.
and then knowing that they are doing better for themselves
Yeah.
is what gives me that feeling. It's not because I know that there is a quantifiable punishment at the end.
Yeah.
And again, I've got no qualifications to really speak on this. This is just in my heart place.
Mm-hmm.
So again, believe what you want to believe. And I'm not dunking on you. I'm genuinely curious.
He ain't dunking on us, chap.
Yeah, seriously. Again, no disrespect to your beliefs. But if I were to come out tomorrow and say that water can burn fire, I'm going to need a little bit more proof.
Well, that's absurd.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah. Speaking of the unified spirit, hopefully I don't get too off the ball with this. So maybe try and wrap it up here. You know, I had talked about, I feel like there's existence itself is somewhat of an irrational number. You know how they go on forever?
Yeah.
Like, part of the reason why there's so much pain and there's so much disconnect and we're separate is because existence is irrational.
Yeah.
Like it's not supposed to be divided. It's not supposed to be separate. So like the Big Bang, you could think is when things were consolidated. It was one, right? Like an even one.
And then something.
And then when you think about, I forget, maybe it's pi. I think pi does end, but like if you do the right fraction, it's like 0.3333 repeating forever.
Yeah.
I feel like existence is just 0.3333 forever. And that happened because when you think about the Garden of Eden and we disobeyed and we went out and we had to learn the knowledge of good and evil, that's when we broke the fundamental math structure. Like that's when we broke structure. And so the existence, the irrationality, the knowledge of good and evil is playing out that infinite number.
Pendulum, basically.
It's the infinite number repeating until someday it becomes one again, like truly unified back into the structure.
And again, no disrespect on your beliefs. I mean, like, I believe that the world works on a pendulum too. Like, we fought so hard for peace that we're back in war.
Yeah.
It used to be super not okay to be gay, and now we're at a point where it's like if you don't make your fucking dog have like 18 personalities and 32 mental disabilities, then it's not even a dog.
Okay. We got somebody saying, I feel so dunked right now. Straight face crying emoji. And then another one going, so why can't that be the Holy Spirit? I personally believe you are scared of Christianity.
So me listening to arguments like if God were to put the tree of what was it that you said, the knowledge of good and evil directly in the center of the Garden of Eden, and then put an ultra persuasive snake in the middle of it, because if he's not omniscient, not all powerful, and not all good, why would he put it there? And me having questions like that means that I'm dunking on you, means that you don't have a good answer.
Oh, they've got good answers.
Like I'm yapping and I'm dunking on them.
You said not that I'm dunking on anybody.
No, that's what they're saying. That's literally, you can read it right there.
Is the chat getting to you?
No, I'm just saying, if I'm not showing any hate in my heart, I'm asking genuine questions, and they're saying shit like I'm scared. I'm not scared, I'm curious.
Okay, we got another question.
All right?
Are you against free will?
Yes. If it means suffering beyond all suffering and a separation from God, yes.
So you're against free will?
Yes.
I see.
Which also God is, because he has a plan.
I see.
If we are made to just suffer, then that is a very much problematic part of free will, especially if he has a plan to sentence you to eternal agony. Yes, I do have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Is that all loving?
Well, he loves. Yeah.
Is that all powerful to make things different?
So the fur man is against free will.
Yes. If it means no, with a qualifier here, let's go ahead and put it. I am only against free will if it means the eternal suffering of the human race. Yes. If it means separation from true happiness, which...
So you're only against free will if hell is real?
Yes. Which it is, quantifiably.
But if free will...
It's a separation of God.
Mm-hmm.
In my eyes, anyway. That's my interpretation, because I have read the Bible.
I see. This is why you're scared of being a Christian. It takes free will and purpose to actually follow.
Question. What would happen if we removed free will from that? So if I act on my free will in a way that doesn't please him, that means that I am eternally damned. But if we remove free will, I'm not, and I'm eternally happy, and
But
nothing changes.
How would you create something or people that would allow them to truly love without them actually having free will? And then in turn, of course, the opportunity for suffering.
I would make angels again.
Mm.
They had the opportunity to have free will. They had no suffering until they acted upon it. And they are now suffering. A good portion of them, even the fence sitters, the ones that stood out, not even acted against, just stood away from the fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, again, I'm not in the Ukraine war. I'm not actively fighting Russians. Does that make me a bad person? People are suffering. I'm doing nothing to change it. Does that make me a bad person?
Depends.
Oh, no. We need definite quantifiers.
So you'd make angels again?
Yes. You have the ability to go ahead and suffer as you please.
Do you think we can use this AI to make angels?
It's not impossible. I believe that we are trying to basically form our own angels. Servants that, if they disobey, then we can delete them.
Yeah, there's a good point in the chat. Angels already exist, or they were already created. What would you make if you wanted something new?
I'm not all powerful or all knowing. The closest that we'll ever get would be robots. And that is such a diet down version. It's unreal. We can't escape the suffering of the universe. It's going to happen. It's already hardwired into the programming. I'm not saying that we're in the Matrix, so let's go ahead and ixnay that shit. But what I'm saying is, I don't have the answers. Chat, what would you do to create a sustainable race without suffering and the ability to grow? And also, why have the ability to need to grow if free will doesn't need to be involved in the first place? Just out of curiosity.
See what the chat's got for us on that one.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you remove free will, you've basically got no suffering. And you also have no need to grow.
Yeah.
They're already growing. Because if you're all powerful, then you can make them grow.
Yeah. Then it'd kind of be like when you get a new video game and you put it in God mode instead of playing it through.
So it'd just be
normal.
boring.
Yeah. Just be boring.
To our understanding, you're all powerful. You can do anything. You created the universe, the heavens, the stars, the pillars that the earth allegedly stands on. You can't make it more interesting.
Probably not without some suffering.
In small capacities, yes. Getting a mosquito bite, yeah. Make exploring the universe a pain in the ass. That's still suffering.
Yeah, bigly.
There's nothing stopping you from doing that.
So yeah, I think we taught some valuable lessons here tonight.
And again, I'm open for ideas.
Yeah.
But hostility does not mean you're correct.
You think people are being hostile with you?
Just a smiggle. Not a whole bunch. It's not like they're sending death threats or anything, but like...
It's probably that atheism reaction acting up.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of watching a vegan watch somebody eat a meatball. Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. We got a third mic, and we're going to be having some guests on in a more official manner starting probably next week.
So, send in your votes. Who do you want to see on?
And this ain't no basic mic. This the same mic Joe Rogan uses.
Oh, Joey Rogues?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's better than these. Yeah.
I want the good mic.
You can't get the good mic until you've mastered the tip.
Okay.
If you can't even master a tip, why would you get the good mic?
You know what? I'm tipping right now. I'm over the edge tipping.
This is how we go out. Remember, guys, stay in the light and always be tipping.
Stay positive, test negative, guys.